the downfall, the final downfall fell. They lasted more terribly than ever, and I was not able to conscientiously to go to him for nearly 2 years. I ordered many pairs at that time, then felt the downfall, then the downfall occurred. They lasted more terribly than ever, and then I was not able to meet him conscientiously. I couldn't go to him with an open mind, with a good, clean mind. I couldn't go to him for another 2 years because of some difficulties. When at last I went to his shop after 2 years, I was surprised to find that outside one of those little windows of his shop, another name was painted. So you may remember that he had two shops combined into one. And he used to display his shoes on the two windows. But today, outside one of the little windows of his shop, another name was painted. Also, that of a bootmaker, there was another name of another bootmaker. Of course, for the royal family, that fellow, that new cobbler, advertised himself saying that he made shoes for the royal family. The old familiar boots, no longer in dignified isolation, were put together, huddled together in a single window. When I went to him last time, nearly 2 years ago, the boots were displayed on the two windows neatly, having a gap in between two shoes. But today, all the shoes are huddled together, damned together on one window because the other shop is given to someone else. The old familiar boots, no longer in dignified isolation, were huddled in the single window. Inside, the now contracted well of the little shop was more scented and darker than ever. So when you enter, you will find the enclosure huddle. You will find the well where he works. The old familiar boots, no longer in dignified isolation, were huddled in a single window. Inside, the now the reduced area of work, contracted, reduced. The place is reduced, the area is reduced. Or the one little shop was more, now it is more scented. The room is not wide enough, so you get the smell of the shoes, and the room looks darker because the other side is let off to someone else. It was longer than usual before a face peered down. So when I went after 2 years, I had to wait for longer time to see the cobbler coming down. So it was longer than usual before a face peered down, face from above, looked down, peered down, looked down. And then I could hear the tip tap of the past slippers began. I could hear the man coming down. I could hear the footsteps of the man coming down. I heard the sound of the slippers. At last he stood before me and gazing through those rusty iron spectacles, he said. So he looked at me through his rusty iron spectacles. He said, Mr. Isn't it? Aren't you so and so? I said, Mr. Gessler, I stammered. But your boots are really too good. See, these are quite decent. Still, I stretched out to him my foot. He looked at it. Then I told him why I had not been here for 2 years. I told him that his boots are very, very good. They are highly durable. That's the reason why I couldn't come back earlier. I told him, your boots are too good. See, these are quite decent still. And then I stretched out to him my foot. He looked at my boots. Yes, he said, people do not want good boots, it seems. Then he told me he expressed his helplessness by saying that nowadays I don't know what has gone wrong with the people. They don't seem to want good boots. It looks like that. everybody goes to the other shop, everybody goes to the big firms to buy trash, buy bad shoes. Expressing disapproval and disappointment, his eyes clearly showed that he was disappointed, he was displeased. To escape from his reproachful look and voice, I suddenly, in a hurry, I hastily remarked, "What have you done to your shop? You had a very spacious shop. Now, what has happened?" His answer came quietly. He said, "It was too expensive to maintain two shops. Do you want some boots?" He changes the topic. He just said, "It is very difficult to maintain two shops. Okay, forget about, do you want new shoes?" I ordered 3 pairs of shoes at that time, though I had only wanted two. Seeing his helplessness, I placed order for three, though I wanted only two, and left quickly. I don't know quite what feeling of being part in his mind of a conspiracy against him. I somehow got a feeling that I too was a part of the conspiracy against a cobbler who made quality shoes. Many customers have stopped coming to him and they have started going to big firms. I somehow felt that I was also a part of that group, or not perhaps so much against him as against the idea of boot. I don't know quite what feeling of being part of a conspiracy against him, and may not be against him as against his idea of boot. So even though I felt I was not against him, I was clearly against his idea of quality boot or perfect boot. One does not, I suppose, care to feel like that, for it was again many months before my next visit to his shop paid. I remember with the feeling, oh well, I can leave the old boy, so here goes. Perhaps it will be his elder brother. One does not care to feel like that. It was again many months before my next visit to the shop. So, after many months, since his shoes are highly durable, I couldn't go to his shop again and again quite often. So, I visited his shop after many months. So, when I went there, I was telling myself, oh, well, I can leave this old boy, so here goes. Perhaps it will be his elder brother. I hope to find his elder brother in his place. For his elder brother, I knew, had not character enough to reproach me even dumbly. So last time when I went to him, he looked at me reproachfully. He looked at me feeling highly disappointed and displeased. So this time I thought I would meet his elder brother. He wouldn't be in the shop because his elder brother was a good man, and he did not have the character enough to reproach me, scold me for being a part of the conspiracy against him and his idea of boots. And to my relief, in the shop, there did appear to be his elder brother handing a piece of leather. So when I reached the shop, I was happy, I was relieved to find his elder brother. "Well, Mr. Guest," I said, "how are you?" Seeing his elder brother, I greeted him. I said, "Well, Mr. Guest, how are you?" Then he came close and looked at me, peered at me. He said, "I am pretty well, pretty well," he said slowly, "but my elder brother is dead." I thought I was talking to his elder brother. He looked quite older. So I thought I was talking to his elder brother. But when he told me that his elder brother died, then I understood that I was talking to the younger one, the cobbler. I saw that it was indeed himself, the younger one, not the elder one, but how aged and weak he had gone weak, he had gone pale, and never before had I heard him mention his brother. I was shocked, I'm sorry to hear that you lost your brother. Now, earlier, Normally, he would never mention his brother, but elder brother would always tell me if he was alone, I will consult my brother. But younger brother would never talk about his brother. This is the first time he mentioned his brother to me, and I was sorry, sad to hear that he is dead. I was very sorry to hear that he was dead. Yes, he answered, he was a good man. Then the younger one said, yes, he was a good man. He made a good boot, but he is dead. He touched the top of his head where the hair had suddenly gone as thin as it had been on that of his poor brother. So he had lost his hair. He looked exactly like his elder brother. The cause of death, and he touched the top of his head where the hair had suddenly gone as thin as it had been on that of his poor brother to indicate the cause of death. He just touched his hair, touched the top of his head to tell me how his brother died. He said he could not get over losing the other shop. He told me his brother died because he could not get over losing the other shop. My brother was too much attached to our shop, our business. So when we lost the other shop, he felt highly disappointed. He was very, very sad, and because of the sorrow, he died. Do you want any boots? So he changed just a topic and asked him, do you want any boots? And he held up the leather in his hand and said, it's a beautiful piece.